Welcome to Exchange Rates UK TV. It is the 3rd of August 2021. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Taking a look at Bitcoin on the daily chart. I want to take a look at the weekly first. So, on the weekly, and let me get rid of all these levels here for now. On the weekly chart, and might help if I was actually looking at the right chart. So, when we're looking at the weekly, I drew this. This isn't a very exact flag, but not sure how long ago I did this, but I drew that bull flag there. Last week was a pretty significant event for the close of Bitcoin because we opened, just below that weekly Tenkan-sen at let me get rid of that at 35,750, and then we moved up, and we not only stayed above the Tenkan-sen, but you can see Bitcoin actually closed above the 382 fib retracement. And I believe maybe it didn't. That's all right. Then we look at this week, and you can see the current inside bar has formed, although we're only 2 days in, so a lot can change there. But the fact that we have moved above the Tenkan-sen is pretty supportive. And it's going to be normal for us to see resistance as we move up higher towards that Kijun-sen because that's a natural resistance area. But when you look at the volume profile on the right, between 40,000 and 47,000, there's a thinner market profile. Not huge, but it is thinner, and it gets thicker right where the weekly Kijun-sen is. On the monthly chart, you can just see pretty much the same thing. We almost moved. On the monthly, we're below the Tenkan-sen, where we closed above it on the monthly chart as well. Now that brings us over to the daily chart, and what do we have going on here? Well, we have, unless something changes between now and the close of this daily candlestick, which is in roughly an hour, we'll have the fourth consecutive day lower. Now, is this saying that we're going to resume the bear trend? No, I don't think so. I think it means that we're going to consolidate and possibly find support to break out higher. But we'll want to pay close attention to that because right now on the daily chart, things are looking very bullish. They're bullish for a number of reasons. First is that price is above, well, it was above the Tenkan-sen, the Kijun-sen, but the Tenkan-sen is above the Kijun-sen. The future cloud ahead is green, meaning span A is above B, and the lagging span is above the candlesticks. What's even more is when you look down here at the composite index, if you remember over the last few weeks I've talked about that hidden bearish divergence, and I was talking about that fairly frequently throughout the last half of July, and then ultimately that failed to play out. And so, when we're looking at if it's going to turn into a bull market, because of these conditions, I think it's appropriate to shift it to a bull market. And so we're going to change these RSI settings to reflect that. So the overbought conditions in a bear market are 55 and 65. In a bull market, they're 80 and 90, not 70. It's 80 and 90, which is good because Bitcoin often reaches those high valuations. And then the support zone changes as well. And so those levels in the RSI, those are going to change from 30 and 20, which are the oversold levels in a bear market, to 40 and 50. Those are the oversold levels in a bull market. So one of the nice things that's setting up here is when you look at the, let me get rid of the Ichimoku system here and hide everything else. Okay. And I'm going to shift from a candlestick chart to a line chart. When you look at the line chart of Bitcoin and compare it to the structure of the composite index, what do you notice? You'll notice that the end point of the composite index is significantly lower in proportion to where the close is here on Bitcoin's chart. And so if we are converting to a bull market, especially if we want to see something like an early sign that says, oh hell yeah, we are going into a bull market. We want to see something happen here. We want to see the conversion line move to roughly the same lows that existed back here, roughly these same lows, or even exceed the low. But at the same time, we don't want Bitcoin to drop below the trough here. We don't want it to drop below 29,600 or so. So as long as the composite index, remains down here or lower, we'll have, as long as it matches the prior low here in this trough, and as long as price stays above, that will print hidden bullish divergence, which is a continuation pattern to move higher, only if the prior trend is bullish. Now, obviously, when you look at this, the interpreting the trend short term versus long term, is it bullish? Not really. I mean, it's still very much on the downside move here. Overall, though, on the weekly, it's still bullish. But anyways, if we get that hidden bullish divergence, we also want to see the RSI trading somewhere between 50 and 40. And if it holds as support, that's going to be a pretty huge deal, because that will more than likely generate some major push higher. And below here are some pretty good support zones. So, we've broken out above this prior zone at 35K, and now we're up at 38. So the next support zone that exists, it's a combination of levels. You've got the 236 extension here. You got the daily Kijun Sen and the bottom of the cloud are all in the same zone. So at 36K, there's some pretty good support zones down there, and you've got a thick profile. So it could move as low as 36, possibly even down to test that 50% Fibonacci. The 50% Fibonacci retracement at 33,800. If we scroll out for 2021. I want to see here, roughly get to January. That's good. So the volume point of control for 2021 is pretty much spot on with the 50% fib retracement. So there's a lot of strong support between 34 and 36K, and if we want that to hold, we really want to see it move down and test that, and have the conditions we talked about back here, happen, and then that'll help confirm the bullish return. Otherwise, we'll just keep an eye on it. Thank you for watching. From all of us here at Exchange Rates UK TV, please don't forget to like and subscribe.